Hello everybody, Jake your resident content cowboy here, Yeehaw. I'm actually live on stream making this tier list right now for Unite. This is going to be our season 31 tier list. We had Mega Zard drop last week, and now we can start putting things together in all of these tiers. We're going to kind of briefly talk about all of these Pokemon as we go. As always with most of my tier list, this is a general kind of ranked tier list here. It's not specific to solo queue, but it's mostly like solo, duo, trio, right? I think 5-stack and especially competitive is sort of a whole different ball of yarn. So thank you all for watching. Of course, it's Monday. On Mondays, we do tier lists, and on Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Do you have a question, Kelly?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
Let's get into it. Our tiers, as you see, we have our God tier. We only have one Pokemon in our God tier. We're not frickin' Norse around here. We have our S tier. These things are broken. And you know what? I'm thinking of having another tier. I think S kind of works for this, but maybe a row below. Maybe an A+ tier. Because I think there are Pokemon that kind of like ride this line a little bit where they're not S tier, but they are insanely good. S tier essentially for this tier list is ban this. This is a ban tier. So once you get into the master rank and you have draft, I think things in the S tier are definitely ban worthy, right? That's probably the best way to look at it. And then A+ are things that are really, really good, but at the same time, you cannot, you can't reliably ban these things. So our S tier this time is going to be things you can ban. A+, insanely good. A, also very good. B tier, still got the B tier. C tier, these things are like kind of like bottom of the barrel almost. And then the D tier, I don't think much is going into the D tier, but it's the Decidueye Memorial tier. These things are just unplayable. Bad, bad, bad. And coming from the chat, I think I know who's in God tier. I'm not even gonna like belabor it, hide it. There's no question that the God tier Pokemon currently is Mega Zard. Mega Zard is insanely good. It's so dang strong. It's just unbelievable, and it deserves a ban. It's gonna get banned probably by both teams, but I think that's totally fine. It is far too good, but I do think right behind it, I mean, we'll just go down through our all-rounders here. Right behind it, I think, is Mega Lucario. Both of these are insanely good, kind of for different reasons. You've got Zard that's incredible at fighting with a Unite move like every 2 seconds. And then you have Lucario, really good at fighting, long Mega duration, good in lane, and also really good at ripping objectives and securing, right? Between its close combat and its power-up punch, it rips, it secures. It's just so unbelievably strong also. Both of these are very deserving of a ban. They are the top of my ban list for sure. After these, everything is like very, very, very distant from this. In fact, if we want, we can get rid of the S tier and just have this be the ban tier. Someone wanted to call it the X tier and make this our S tier. That's honestly pretty fair. I can't think of too many other Pokemon that I absolutely have to ban in ranked besides Char and Mega Luca, even though there are some good options for our ban tier, okay? Moving on through the rest of our all-rounders here. Let's start taking a look at some of the other meanies that are in this meta. Just trying to move my video over here so I can make sure that I see the chat and see you guys. Let's see. Let's go with, I think Garchomp is fine. Probably B, maybe even close to A in certain situations, but I'd say probably like a B tier all-rounder, maybe A tier. Machamp kind of hangs out in this realm as well. I think Garchomp's a bit better than that. Lucario, I think, is better than both of these, hanging out in our A tier. Good in lane, good secure, extreme speed is quite good. You'd play Mega if you could, but a lot of times you can't. I think Zarina is maybe S. Zarina's really good. I think it's insanely strong. It's either really high A or S tier. This Pokemon is just very powerful. Of course, there are other all-rounders that get ban priority, but the nice thing about Zarina is it's not going to get ban priority, right? You're not going to end up banning this thing, and it's super, super, super strong. So maybe top of A here. Charizard, I think, is good. It's probably low A right now. Char is a good Pokemon. Great Unite move. Again, it's not Mega Char, but it's still quite good. I feel like Aegislash is a little meh right now. Probably hanging out like low B. It's okay. Wide guard's pretty good. I just feel like it's getting beat up on, and it got nerfed a little while back, and it doesn't seem to be crushing it after that. We have Dragonite. Dragonite's pretty good. I'll be honest, I have not played Dragonite since the Hyper Beam nerf. But I still think, as a solo Qmon specifically, also like solo duo trio, I still think Dragonite's pretty dang good. I'm going to put it in the A tier, but I have not messed with it too much since the Hyper Beam nerf, so I could be slightly off here on Dragonite. The tough thing about Dragonite is it needs a lot of experience, and it doesn't do that well in the center sometimes, so because of that, maybe you could make an argument that it's like high B or something. I feel like that's probably fair too. Azumarill is fine. Not great. I think Azumarill's not great. Maybe C tier or something like that. It's like tough. You know, it's pretty good early, not good enough late. I think it's still meh. I think it's a pretty meh pick. Buzzwole's an interesting one. I always see Buzzwole with a low win rate, but this thing is very good. Buzzwole's extremely good. It's so strong, it's so mean, so powerful early, continues keeping a strong power level throughout the entire game. It absolutely like dominates in lane, and because of that, you get a really strong early lead. I think it's so good. I think T-Tar has a huge positive and a huge negative, right? Really slow, but once it gets online, it is a strong Pokemon. It just takes a while to get there, and team fighting in some matches isn't as relevant in others, and if you just get like bullied all game, it's really, really tough. So I'm gonna put this one in our B tier. It's okay, but it can get bullied a lot. Scissor hangs out with a lot of these. I think it's good. I think Big Root Scissor is pretty fun. I think Solo Q Scissor is also a really dominant Pokemon because it's really hard for people to shut it down without some coordination. And if there are people foolish enough to brawl this, it shoots way up in value, right? But teams with like, even a group with a zero coordination, but they just all recognize to like hit it with a couple stuns, it's doing pretty good. Let's see. I can't speak too much about the Bears, I gotta be honest. I think both are fine. Maybe even good. Like, I think both are fair. I have not seen either one play amazing in this meta, but I do run into so many games where you're still like dealing with the top tier of some of these. You could probably argue that both Urshifus are closer to A tier, and I'd say fine. They're probably at least high B. Right? Better than a lot of what's going on in the B tier. Zacian, I think, is really good. I'm gonna put this high in the A tier. It just is incredibly strong early, and it has insane rip. So it rips and secures objectives really well. It's really powerful because of that, and it's hard to deal with early in lane. A very, very solid Pokemon. Mewtwo X is bad. It's pretty bad. Maybe not as bad as Y. I don't know. They both feel really bad. I think X is like, you could at least play EXP share X as a tank, you know? But in general, I think X is bad. Maybe it's D. It might be D tier. I'm not so sure. Yeah, it could be D, honestly, guys. But I think if you're playing like tank Mewtwo, it's better than Y. But I don't know. Maybe it's C. Maybe it's like bottom of C. It's not an ideal pick. Blaziken, I think, is extremely good. It's probably S. Probably our first S tier that doesn't likely get banned is probably Blaziken, you know? I think that's pretty fair. It's so good. It just got buffed. It actually, like, if you know Char and Luca are banned, you could make an argument for banning Blaziken. I don't think you'll see it banned a lot. I think its pick rate's going to stay pretty low. But I do think, like recent buffs, I think it's really solid. Mimikyu, really good, especially in solo queue. I'm going to put it in the A tier. It can be kind of tough sometimes if your opponents have a good amount of stun, but there's no question that it is better than everything in the B tier. You think Blaze is better than Mega Luca? I don't think so. I think Mega Luca's better. But I do think they're both really good, Peter. But I think it's better. Let's see. Metagross, I think, is good. It's weird. It's probably hanging out low A. You know, I think Mimikyu is actually, I don't know. These are all really good picks, honestly. Everything in the A tier is extremely good. I think it's probably hanging out low A. It's not bad, for sure. Not bad at all. Gyarados, I do not like at all in this meta. It's probably not D, but it's like one of the closest to it. I think Gyarados is so rough. Yeah, it's just bad. I feel like it's so bad in this meta. It's so slow. And like you're playing it in lane, it takes forever to get online. I just think it's really rough. I think Gary is not good right now. Phalanx is fine. Worse in draft. So the interesting thing is, before draft, this is probably like A. During draft, it's a little lower. I think B is fair, you know? It can get countered kind of hard. You see no one really play this Pokemon, but it does burst down pretty well. It's not terrible. I think it's like middle of the road, kind of like hanging out like mid B here. Cerulege I think is good. High B, maybe even close to A. It got nerfed, but I think it's still quite good. I think it's actually good, and it's got good rip too. So even after the nerfs, I think it's pretty solid. I'm going to put it in the B tier here just because it did get nerfed, but I think it's still a good pick. And one of the cool things about Cerulege is you can kind of play it lane or jungle and still get some good value out of it. Tink is like low B, high C. It's weird. Tinkaton is one of those Pokemon where if you've farmed super well, like if your opponents allow you to farm them and you stack on it, or you have a support, Tink is quite good. Without a lot of that, Tink is quite awful. It's like one of the most, like, it's right up there with Tyranitar with how like intensely this thing scales. I don't love it. You could play it center, but that also feels like trolling. I don't know. I think low B is the highest I could put this thing, even though it's going to have some great games. Suicune is close to ban. If you're guaranteeing Charizard and Lucario banned, I would ban Suicune. I definitely would. It's one of the best things in the game. So I'm going to put it up into our ban category. I think it's insanely good. And now we're going to move into a couple of all-rounders that like just joined the game and have had some ups and downs. We have Empoleon and we have Pawmot. So Empoleon, of course, was God tier. It was so good that you would ban it every single game. It was better than this Char. I don't know. They're both insanely good. Maybe it was slightly worse than this Char. No, it's probably better than this Char, I would say. But they're both insanely good. Now, however, I think it's probably high B, low A. And given that I have like a few Pokemon that I feel like that, I'm going to put a row here, which is high B, low A. Because we're just talking about this too much. Still got the high B, low A. I think this kind of sits right here. Cerulege sits here. Chomp sits here. Metagross maybe kind of hangs out here. That feels about right to me. I do think it's quite good. I played a few games with it just earlier on stream because I wanted to test it out. It still feels strong, but it doesn't feel like it was at all. I think it was... If it released at this level, people might be like, it's good. Actually, people would probably be saying it's one of the most balanced releases we've had. In a weird reality, I think it could use a slight buff. Just like, even like the teeniest, tiniest bit, because it's a new release and it's now kind of like hanging out in this weird category. But I think it's fair where it is. Really strong, but not broken. And actually, I think Pawmot's right there too. You know, Pawmot was better than this with the original Supercell Slam buff. And now I do think it's good, but I don't think it's broken. I think it's good. And it's strong, and in certain situations kind of hard to take down, but not like incredibly difficult in other ways. Like, you think it's definitely A? I don't know. After the nerfs, I think now that Supercell Slam's not as good, I don't know if it's A. I think it's like high B, low A. I think so. Maybe. I think Char could actually move down here too. Maybe Dragonite. That one's also questionable. Maybe Mimikyu. Mimikyu could also be in this spot, to be fair. But I think Pawmot's good, but not broken. It's like high B, low A, which I feel like is a really fair category. I love this category now. Okay, moving on to, where do we want to go next? Let's move into, we can do attackers. Attackers are weird. We could do attackers here. Cinderace, I think, is high B, low A. Powerful, good rip, really good with certain supports. Great secure in a lot of situations. Like, it's pretty good. You think Palmot's A+? Really? I do not think it's that good. I could hear someone thinking it's A, but better than A? Better than, like, everything I have in this A tier? I don't think so. Maybe it's A. Maybe. I think it's okay. Like, pretty good. Cram feels kind of meh right now. It's okay. I think it's probably better than its win rate looks, but I don't think it's incredible, you know? Pimsky saying Cram is D. I don't think it's D, honestly. I think it just in general, there are like not a ton of good attackers, so the good attackers get a lion's share of the play. I think Cram's all right. I think Mage Cram is kind of bad, but I think Dive Cram's okay. Maybe it's closer to C. Maybe Cram's closer to C, like high C, but we're not gonna have a high, low B, high C category. We can't do it, guys. It's just impossible. The technology's not there. We don't yet have the technology. Ninetales is fine. Good in lane. Good early, decent burst, not bad. You think Scissor is A? I don't think so. I could hear an argument for some of these B tier ones being like high B, low A though. That seems like fair to me. But you know, they're all roughly in this little area here. Venu is good, but it's definitely not as good as it was. I think Venusaur, like the nerfs they gave to it, like knocked it down enough to where it is not like A or S. I would not be banning it. It is good, but I don't think it's like feels like as broken as it was. Still a good Pokemon though. Greninja is like right here as well. I like Greninja a lot. Solo queue, this thing gets a lot of value, you know, but yeah, it's pretty squishy right now, and the meta feels like quite tanky with a lot of stuff that deletes it really, really fast. Pikachu is fine, hanging out in the B tier. I think it's pretty good. Guard is fine. I don't love Gardevoir right now. It's okay. It does a lot of like range damage, but it just takes so long to get online, and you don't really want it in center, and it gets punished by a lot of dive. But, you know, the damage is solid. Sylveon, I think Sylveon's fine. It's like, I think a lot of tier lists would probably have Sylveon lower, but it is like an annoying Pokemon. I think one of the problems with Sylveon, however, is its role is like not super clear sometimes, because it's kind of a bizarre harasser, and yeah, it doesn't fit into a lot of team comps, I think is maybe its problem. Decidueye is good. Played really poorly, but quite good. A very, very good Pokemon. Let's see. Who else? Duraludon is fine. In solo, like anything with good rip and secure, it's fine. It's like B. It's underrated, honestly. Espeon, I think, is good. Espeon's like high B, low A. I think Espeon's solid. Really strong in lane. It actually might be, because I'm like comparing attackers to themselves, right? It actually might be one of our A, you know? It has really good secure. And it gets its moves really fast. It outplays a lot of things due to range. Or you could play stored power and actually do a ton of damage. You know, yeah, it's probably hanging out here, but it's not bad. Delphox, also pretty good. Solo, the Mystical Fire build it was kind of cooking. It had a moment, you know? It might still be like a little higher than this. I honestly don't know what it's doing win rate wise right now. It was cooking pretty good though. On its like schmovement build, it was having its moments. Let's take a look at the win rates. I actually don't know where it sits. This is a Suicune right here. I'm just curious right now. How's it doing? It's still doing pretty good. Over 50%. Yeah, Fire Blast, Fire Spin's okay, but Mystical Fire Flame Charge is still kind of crushing it. That sounds about right to me. I think we could say it's probably A tier. With that build, you know? Win rates are messed up first week of the season. It's true. Yeah. I think it's probably pretty good with that particular build. It's probably still A, but high B, low A is looking not too bad right now. Glaceon, quite good. They're going to buff it. I hate that. Mew is a weird one. Mew is actually S tier, but not as often, not at all in solo, but not as often in solo, duo, trio. And your ally Mew is terrible. I'm going to say it's probably A, but again, in the hands of a great player, this thing is broken. It is so broken, but I'm going to say it's A. Dragapult, solo, really good, honestly. I get to hang out with some of these other ones. Actually, I really like Dragapult right now. Would I actually put Dragapult above Cinder, though? It feels like they're in a similar category, you know? They feel pretty similar to me. They're both good. Like, kind of... A few of these are close to A. A few of these are close to A, honestly. A good Mew is terrifying. I totally agree. It's so strong. I don't think Dragapult's going to fully get there. But a few of these are quite strong. Chandeler's fine. It's like, it's okay, not terrible. I don't like Inteleon that much right now. I'm going to put it B tier. I'm probably, like, at being an Inteleon hater right here. I just don't love it in this meta. I don't think it's, like, super, super good right now. And I never like having one on my team. But I'm sure a very skilled Inteleon is still quite good. I just think it's not great. Y is probably one of the worst Pokemon in the game, it feels like. I think so. Miraidon, I think, is really good. I'm putting it also in the A tier. I think it's an A tier attacker. I think Miraidon's really strong. If I had to put an S tier attacker, for me, it's probably a Alolan Raichu. But I don't know if any attacker really feels super, like, S tier broken to me right now. I think A is maybe the best I'm going to give any of these attackers. Armarouge, I also think, is quite good. But, yeah, after the nerfs to Electro Ball, I don't know if stored power is enough. I'm going to say that's A. I think Latios is also... So here's the weird thing about Latios. Latios. Latios is really good right now. And, if you have Latios and Latios on your team, that's pretty solid. And I do think Latios is still good. It's possible that it hangs out like here, but I actually think it's still pretty good. I think it's probably A. I bet coordinated it's having some trouble, but I think in most games it's still really powerful and you can get it online pretty well, you know? All right, let's do supporters. We were just talking about Latios here. I think Latios is S. It's either high A or S tier, but you know what? A lot of these supporters are, like, Alchemy is S tier. Blissey is ban, probably. If you were gonna ban any support, I'd ban Blissey. Mime is A. It's really good. Clefable's A. Hoopa's A. Sablei's, like, high B, low A. This, like, really depends on the player. Comfey's A. Eldegoss is A. Like, they're all so good. Like, they're so good. I mean, this entire role is disgusting. I think Wiggly's good. Psyduck I haven't played a ton of lately. Honestly, I don't know what is going on with Psyduck lately. That's an interesting one. I have not played a lot of Psyduck. I'd probably put it A still. I just think they're all so good. I think the new Mime buffs are great. You think it's not good? There's no way it's not good. I could hear that it's like, okay, like maybe like, but there's no way it's not good. I think it's quite good. The last time I played it, and that was after some nerfs, I still think it was really, really good. But for me, I don't think I'd ban Blaziken, Latios, or Alchemy, but I think all of them are really great right now, especially in uncoordinated games, you know? And then I would consider banning Blissey. In fact, if I'm being honest, I would put Comfey here. Just in general, if I know Char and Mega, like Lucario, are getting banned, I could see myself banning Comfey, especially if I see a duo or a trio on the other side. But I digress. I think the thing about supports in this game is having a support is broken. Having like an EXP share support on your team is like one of the greatest things ever. If I was looking to ban though, it would be Blissey. That would be my #1 support to ban if I was looking to ban one. Comfey is an easy ban choice. I agree. It is an easy one. In general, supports are like crazy good across the board. Yeah, I don't know. They're all so good. I'm maybe overrating Latias here a bit, but I do think it's incredible. I hate a Comfey duo. You win almost all the time with them on your team, but it feels wrong. Yeah, I mean, Comfey duo is just gross. But yeah. All right, moving on. Let's do our defenders here. Slowbro, I think when things are broken, Slowbro gains value. I'm going to put it in our A tier. Let me just make sure that didn't cut off here. No, we're still good. I think Slowbro's A. Really good. You think Clefable's S? It is really good. I don't know if it's S, but it's up there for sure. I mean, I think it's really strong. I think Slowbro is A. I think Crustle is A. Maybe it's S. I don't know. It's probably the tough thing about defenders is they're all just so insane. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think what the best defender is right now because they're all so good. Like, Umbreon is still at least A. Ho-Oh's A. Lapras is A. Blastoise is, like, sneaky good. Mammo is incredibly good. The truth is, like, all of these are kind of broken. Goodra's, like, the worst one. Trevenant's quite good. Greedent is broken in its own way. I mean, honestly, I'm not really sure the best way to separate these defenders or these supports right now. Because the truth is, they're just like, they're so good as a category. It's insane. Having one as on your team compared to not having one is a monumental difference. I'm going to rate them against each other a little bit. I think... Dude, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Put Tree in S tier, you think? I don't know if it's S. I'm curious what the win rates are for some of these defenders. Not that I make my decisions off of, like, one thing of win rates, but I'm just curious. Greedent's high. Doesn't surprise me. They're probably not played much. Let's see. Wiggly's high. Slowbro's high. Umbreon's at 50%. Snorlax is at 50. Lapras is under. Crustle's under, but I think that's, like, not reasonable. Blastoise is, like... I could move Blastoise down a little. Maybe. I do think it's quite good, though. Goodra's definitely low. And there's not a single other defender low. Wow. They're so good as a class, dude. They're just so good. Maybe, like, Blastoise and... I don't even know. Like, they're kind of like Blastoise and like Lapras is a sustain tank, but I think it's so good. Honestly, I think they're so good. So I think all these defenders are kind of nuts. I don't think any of them are bad. This is like, I don't know. I don't know if any of them are bad. I think I have to keep them here in my A tier. I just don't know if any of them are bad at all. You know? Maybe you could say in this particular meta, Slowbro gets a little more value than the others, you know? Yeah, Blastoise does take a little while to get online. Maybe Blastoise here. I could see the argument for Greedent in high B, just because it's kind of a disruptor and less of like a defender like some of these other ones. Like a stereotypical defender. I could see an argument for that, but if you're really good at disrupting, it's broken, you know? I can't put Mammo lower because even though Mammo does take a little while to get online, I think its early game is broken, you know? I just think it's so broken. It's so good. Maybe Ho-Oh actually hangs out one tier lower, if I had to put one lower, you know? That's about right, but look... As we always talk about, I'm comparing some of these to each other. And in general, these, like, this role, I do think the last two roles, I think in general, supporters and defenders are a broken category of Pokemon. So I think having one compared to not having one is so insanely huge. Scorze, thank you so much for the 18 months, by the way, brother. Tier list time, thank you. And Terrans, I think I missed you as I was going. Thank you so much. Let's see. Will I be letting you know if they're good for top or bottom lane? Yes, they are. Let's see. Our speedsters here. Scyther, I think, is very good. It's probably A or S. I think Scyther's really, really good. It clears really fast, too. I think Gengar's probably high B, low A. I think Absol's high B, low A. I think Talon is A tier. I think Zera is high B, low A. I think Dodrio's probably S. You know? I think Dodrio might be one of the best speedsters out there. It's like just below being the best speedster, which is Darkrai right now. Darkrai is the best one. There is an argument for putting Darkrai here, to be honest. Darkrai is the only speedster, like between like some of our damage dealers, speedsters and attackers, it's the only speedster I'd consider banning. I wouldn't consider banning any other speedsters, but I would consider banning Darkrai. It's the bottom of my ban list, but I definitely would consider banning it. It's really annoying to fight, and it can shut down like teams in some pretty crazy ways. It's low-key broken. I think it might be kind of broken, but it's also not, like, I would rather ban all four of these Pokemon before I ban Darkrai, but Darkrai is insanely good. Zoroark is probably A, but it does require a good Zoro. This is like right there with Mew. If you have a good Zoro, this thing feels broken, but yeah. Leafeon, I'm going to put high B, low A. It just doesn't seem to do that well solo sometimes, but it is a really good pick, especially if it can get a early advantage, which is what it's set up for. Meow is good enough solo to be here, and I actually don't love Horse right now. This might be my most controversial placement of the whole tier list. I don't love Galarian Rapidash. It got a small nerf, and I just don't like it that much. I swear I think they over-nerfed it, and it was a small nerf, guys. I do not like it that much. I'm not saying it's terrible. You could still do some cool stuff with it. But after that teeny tiny itsy bitsy nerf, I just don't love it. I really don't. Okay. Let's see. So there's our tier list here, guys. I do think Charizard is clearly the best thing in the game, and it is your absolute must ban every single game. I think all four of these are very deserving of bans. I can't imagine banning... You think Absol is D tier? There's no way. No way. I need to play it more, to be fair. There's no way it's D tier. Absol? Absolutely. Absolutely not. There's no way. At worst, I could say it's B, and I don't even think it's that low. I think our A tier, these are all Pokemon that are really good in, like, they're not going to be necessarily your priority picks, but once some of the top stuff is banned out, they would all be very, very good. Steve in the chat's saying they still think Zoro is S tier. You might be right. Zoro could be up there, too. I think Talon in some ways could be up there, too, you know? I don't think Charizard's that scary in draft pick when it dies with hindrances. Which Charizard? I think Mega Char's too good. It's just like, it's just too strong. I really do think it's too strong. Yeah, the Mega, no, I think it's too strong. It has a Unite move like all the time. I'm not saying it guarantees a win or anything like that, but it's too strong. I definitely think it's banned. It's banned for sure. Zoroark could be S. I could hear that argument. I don't think that's crazy. In fact, like, speedsters in general are just kind of like, if they get a good advantage and someone's cracked on them, then it's really, really good. I watched one tournament and Overlord ripped so hard with Zoro. Yeah, Zoro. I mean, you are talking about the best player in the world, maybe. I don't think that's a good, I gotta be honest, I don't think that's a good measuring stick of a Pokemon's value, is what the best player in the entire world performs on it like. Boy, I said that weird. But I don't think that's a great barometer. I really don't. It's not a good way to measure how good a Pokemon is necessarily. In some ways, it's a bad way to measure how good it is. But it is true, if you're like nutty good on Zoroark, then you are nutty good. Okay. Let's see here. Zoro doesn't need Comfey to be good, though. People have proven that it doesn't need Comfey to be good. But I think a lot of them running Comfey is, like, necessary. But on a, like, you saw Trainer with it, another unbelievably cracked player. And they didn't run Comfey all the time. So I think it's about where I'd put everything in our tier list. There are some things I could be a little off about. I think some of the attackers could still be a little lower. I don't love attackers in this meta. They definitely need a wall. They definitely need support. But if they have that, if they have that wall, they have that support, I do think some of these could be high, like into the A tier. But I don't think any of them feel like S to me. Maybe the closest is Raichu. There you go. Tier list, everybody. Hope you enjoy it. Of course, if we get a balance patch or anything, I will update it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. I love you. I'll see y'all next time.